Hi guys, welcome to the Thinking Crypto channel where we are closely approaching 40,000 subscribers. We cover the crypto news and interview many of the folks who are building and investing in the asset class. So if you're new here, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button. Guys, Bloomberg has released a report saying that Bitcoin could see a bull run this year where it's going to touch its old all-time high, which is $20,000, which took place in 2017, and potentially hit new all-time highs of $28,000. Now, as we saw in 2017 and years before, the altcoins will move with Bitcoin. Bitcoin moves the market. Make no mistake about it, guys. That is how it is right now. We haven't decoupled. And I'm personally, from my opinion, I think it's going to happen next year, the bull run that is. And here's why. When we look at 2016, the halving took place in July 2016. It took over a year, guys, for us to see the bull run where we saw all-time highs in December 2017. So I don't believe it's going to happen that fast. So Bloomberg is making the case for this year. I personally think next year. Now, don't get me wrong. I want it to happen right now, right? Because I want to make money, as you guys do. So let's go over the reasons as to why they are citing that it could happen this year. And specifically, it's COVID-19 and demand from institutions. So the report suggests that COVID-19 has accelerated Bitcoin's maturation as an asset, showing its strength amid declining equities. In addition, it points to the ever-increasing appetite from institutional investors and Grayscale or GBTC in particular, which has been consuming about 25% of the new supply. Here we have it, some details. So far this year, its increasing asset under management has consumed about 25% of new Bitcoin mined coin versus less than 10% in 2019. Our graphic depicts the rapidly rising 30-day average of GBTC assets under management, near 340,000 in Bitcoin equivalents, about 2% of the total supply. About 2 years ago, it accounted for 1%. So there's no mistake about it, guys. I covered it. Grayscale bought about over 18,000 Bitcoin after the halving. They bought more than what was being mined and put out into the market. It's pretty ridiculous when you think about it, but it shows the demand is growing, and they are not the only ones. There's a lot of venture capital firms and hedge funds and traditional investors. You have pension funds and all of these folks getting in and buying Bitcoin, buying crypto, and it is no secret. We see the reports coming out of what's happening. So they're citing that. They're citing, the COVID situation, the money printing that's taking place. But like I said, I personally think we're not going to see new all-time highs until next year. That doesn't mean we're not in a bull market. That doesn't mean the price is not going to keep going up this year. It will. However, like I said, I would be happy if it does happen. I'm just trying to be realistic. So that's my point of view, guys. Obviously, I'm always open to correction and, get your thoughts as well. But one thing we can all agree on, the halving has triggered a bull market, not a bull run, a bull market where you have bullish momentum. We expect prices to go up. Now, guys, some very great news here. Crypto mom, SEC crypto mom, Hester Peirce, great woman, very smart, and not because she's on board with crypto, if you've listened to her speak and the work she's put out, but she's done some great things. She's one of the folks in government, guys, who recognizes this is the new asset class. This is a disruptive technology. And if the US does not get on board, they will be left behind. We're going to lose out on revenue and jobs and so forth, right? And she's been beating the drum and pushing for regulation, safe harbor, all these things. And she's really been trying to get the other SEC commissioners to get on board. And very much like, former CFTC chairman, crypto dad, Chris Giancarlo, who's been trying to do the same. And he's now pushing for the digital dollar. But guys, she has been tapped for a second term, which is great. So Hester Peirce, one of the 5 commissioners with the US SEC, has been tapped for a second term at the regulatory agency. This is great news. We need crypto advocates. We need people who get it to keep pushing forward, pushing for regulation, get the congressman, get the president, get everybody on board. This is the new asset class and technology. If we don't get on board, the US will fall behind. So Peirce, who has been one of the most prominent crypto advocates among the US's regulatory agencies, took office in January 2018 after US President Donald Trump nominated her to finish the last 2 years of a 5-year term. Without the renomination, her term would have expired on Friday. The new term would see her serving through 2025. Great news. I know this is not sexy news like the price going up, right? But this is all part of the process of building out the market, the maturation of the market. You need to have the institutional investors getting in, which we see. You need people on board in government who see the vision of this market and are going to push for regulation and clarity so that the money sitting on the sidelines can get in. A lot of the companies who don't want to touch crypto can get in, guys, and we can create jobs, and this can be another facet of the economy that grows and GDP and all that stuff, right? So great news. In recent months, the regulator has proposed a safe harbor for crypto startups looking to issue tokens as a way of allowing these companies to raise funds and begin operations without fear of running afoul of U.S. securities laws. Peirce asked for the general public to provide feedback on the proposal after publishing it. Many of you know the work she's doing, so I'm not going to go into that, but the key takeaway, she's going to be here through 2025. So this is great news, guys. And interesting that President Trump, right, and is behind this, even though he's against Bitcoin, or he has publicly said he's against Bitcoin. But I think, the White House, people have been engaging with the White House, like Ripple, Coinbase, and so forth, to try to get the proper measures. I think they understand and see what's ahead. I think Trump's stance on Bitcoin and what the things he said, I think it's almost like he has to, because if people will lose faith in the US dollar. When you think about it, there's nothing that backs the US dollar. It's about faith that this thing has a value because the government says so, right? So I don't want to get too much into the rabbit hole of money and that item, but it's great to see that under his presidency, this is happening. So this is great news, guys. Speaking of Ripple, Ripple and Brazil's central bank hold closed meeting to discuss institutional matters. Ripple continues to expand its presence in Brazil, holding a meeting with the officials at the country's central bank. Great news. Ripple is going global, guys. They're working with central banks and governments around the world. They work with the IMF. I believe they're going to try to push as much adoption of XRP as possible. Will every bank use XRP? Obviously not. You got to be balanced about that, right? I am not an XRP maximalist. I am bullish on XRP because of the use case, because of the potential to make money here. So I have it as number one in my portfolio. But right behind that, I believe in Bitcoin. I believe Bitcoin will do well, and I have that there too, and Ethereum, and so on and so forth. We're going to talk about the basic attention token right after this. So I'm bullish on multiple projects. I'm diversifying to reduce the risk in my portfolio. So let me see if there's any additional details here. So according to the financial institution's website, its president, Roberto Campos Neto, had a video conference with Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse and 3 other representatives of the crypto firm. There's little detail about the talk since it was closed to the media, although the website mentions institutional matters as the meeting's general purpose. Guys, makes me even more bullish on XRP. And you all know, if you've been subscribed to this channel, I believe XRP is going to be one of the winners. We see what is happening. How they're going to position XRP as that bridge currency. It is bringing a solution to a real world problem. It's going to improve payments and make it faster, settlement instantaneously. So you really have to put your thinking cap on here and look at what previous tech disruptors have done. Your Googles, your Amazons, your Netflix, and look at what they did to the traditional companies who did not innovate and evolve, guys. So I see that here. I see Ripple being the Google of payments here, as Google is for search, Amazon is for marketplaces and e-commerce. That is the same level I see Ripple as. That's my opinion. You may disagree, but I'm not doing this based on my emotions, but the facts. The facts are so important, guys. And the fact that they are meeting with central banks, I mean, my goodness, look at the level that they're operating on here. This is really big. Moving ahead, guys, crypto adoption continues. We heard about Samsung recently just adding another layer of crypto trading with Gemini. They've added their wallet, and we're seeing different apps are doing the same thing, guys. Crypto integration brings thousands of new users to the popular chat app. The 100,000 user milestone represents 2% of Kakao's, if I'm saying that right, current user base in South Korea. And according to the internet giant, KakaoTalk's Clip has launched with support for 11 cryptocurrencies. Big, guys. Nearly 90% of the country's population currently uses the chat app. I just talked about US and crypto mom and regulations, but the great thing about crypto, it is global, man. This is awesome. You could be in a country in Africa and in some small village and you got a smartphone, you can get access to crypto. You could be in Australia, wherever in Europe, man. This is amazing. And there's no gatekeeper here. You want to buy crypto, you want to buy Bitcoin, you can do it. You don't have to go through or you don't have to be an accredited investor, guys. This is what makes the potential for this market so big. So look at what's happening here around the globe. And this is great news for adoption. Now, speaking of adoption, guys, Joe Rogan, I'm a big fan of Joe Rogan and his podcast. And, he, in a recent talk with Reggie Watts, talked about they use Brave, which is, of course, powered by the basic attention token. And I'm trying to get an interview with the folks at Brave and Bat. So this is exposing Brave to millions of people, which is great, guys. So Joe Rogan and Reggie Watts just talked up Brave to millions of people. And as you guys know, you get rewarded with that basic attention token. Is non-invasive. You see all these ads here at the side here of this. You wouldn't have that with Brave. It's clean, no ads, and I shouldn't say no ads, no invasive ads. It's privacy. It doesn't track all your search habits and so forth. If an ad pops up, right, in a little dialog box, you can say, I don't want to see that. Or you can say, I want to see it, and I get paid to do it. That is revolutionary, and that, I believe, is going to be a big disruptor. That is why I hold BAT in my portfolio. Thank you guys who have donated basic attention tokens to me. But they are making some big progress, and it's one of the most high-profile endorsements in Brave's history, with Rogan's podcast downloaded more than 190 million times each month. The show has recently licensed to Spotify in a $100 million deal. The latest episode already received 1.7 million views on YouTube in the first 24 hours. Guys, it's happening for Brave here. And it's disrupting Google. It's better than Google Chrome and all that. And I have it set up on my work computer in my home. So I use it for my normal browsing and all that stuff. So I earned my Brave tokens, and I have it in my portfolio. I've invested in it, not financial investment advice, and I believe it's going to do well. So guys, what do you think? Think Bitcoin could see 28,000 in the next run up? Could the bull run happen this year? What do you think about this great news with Hester Peirce being tapped for another 5 years, guys? It's great stuff. I'm very excited for the future of this market. Of course, patience is the key. Market cycles, bull, bear, accumulation phase. Don't forget that. Leave your thoughts, comments below. Thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'll talk to you all later.